Hi guys, so today I'm going to try out the new Year of Craft Big Celebrations Autoship. I think I unboxed it in a video recently, right? We'll see. But I do remember when I opened it, I love this card right here. So any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. For this video, it'd probably be for like extra things that I might use, because this is not something that you can just pick up quite yet. It's auto-shipped through HSN. Somebody had mentioned that they have these monthly on Crafter's Companion's site, but I think they might be confused with the sub box, because yeah, the sub box, Crafter's Companion itself also has them, scrapbook.com has them, Paper Wishes has them. I'm sure there's other ones, but for right now, that's what I have off the top of my head. I, of course, am signed up through HSN, so I just let it come in through there. But this is different. This is the Year of Craft, and this only comes out, I think, every 2 to 3 months, guys. Do you remember? It's been, like, crazy with COVID, I guess, so that they don't stay on track. But hopefully, I think now it's more on track, because the other one came out really close to this one. And this one, I think, is... Sorry, I have my receipt in there. So anyway, this one was slated to come out, I think, around now, and it did come out, like, at the right time. So, that's good. If I have any gesso on my fingers, forgive me. I was making a video where I used gesso earlier today. You'll see it very soon, but not quite yet. Yeah, so no, I did unbox this. So I really like this card. So I think that's what we're going to do. Of course, it requires coloring and things that are not in here. Again, this one does have a paper template, kind of like the characters box set that I reviewed recently. Super cute. Makes an adorable card. Was totally blown away that it had paper templates. But with this, I mean, obviously it's a magazine, so that's what you would assume. Although there are some plastic templates in here for some of the other things. Like, you know, am I really going to trace this? Probably not. But I have dies that can do something like this. It wouldn't be this big. But, you know, who knows? Okay, well, here's actually that card right here. So they have some other different things. Oh, that's really cute, too. Just like a folio kind of book. It does have some information here on how to color, which is great. Again, which is basically what I say, the same thing. I do it backwards, right? I start with the light to the dark, but they're saying start with your darkest, I guess. Envisage, ooh, fancy, how the light will hit the image to determine how to shade each section. I know those kind of things always scare me, especially when you're coloring like figures, little girls or dolls or whatever. I just pretty much act like, I mean, this one obviously it looks like it's facing that way, so let's say the light is hitting it over here, so the darkness would be just like in these little areas. That's kind of how I do it. I don't really pay attention to that too much. Or like if the light was straight on or straight above. I guess now that I've been doing this for years, I do think about it a little bit, but early on I was like, I don't know. So I would just pick a area, like if this was going to be dark, okay, this is going to be dark, this is going to be dark, and everything else is lighter, and that's just how I would leave it, you know? But anyway, color one section of the image using the darkest shade first. Work on each section at a time. It's easier to blend alcohol markers when they're wet. And then select the next shade lighter than the darkest shade and blend this with the darkest shade. Color step 2. And then they say to blend out a little further in this section, repeat the coloring process with a marker of a lighter shade. So they're going backwards, dark to light, and maybe I'll do that today because I don't normally do that. I usually go light to dark. And so, yeah. So, it says I need to layer a 5.5 piece of square of peach cardstock onto a 5 3/4 square of craft cardstock and affix it to 6x6 card. So let's get the stuff out of here that we're going to need. So for sure I need this stamp set, right? It looks like they actually put a bow, and this, I don't know if the coloring here is not right, but you see they talk about peach cardstock. It's a peach colored bow, and they have pink ribbon here, but that's okay. Oh, it'd be cute if you added some of this, but we're not doing that today, I guess. We have some numbers. We're not going to use any of this. That doesn't look like. These are the stencils all the time. Oh, here. There is a paper template in here for the star, though, right? Well, it's smaller. And then it has like a banner. So, a little different. I'm going to need card blank. Again, they come with 6x6, 5x7, and 4x6 cards. I'm not going to take the time to put that back in the package. Where did I put the stamp set already? Stamp set. That envelope I'll use later. We need this. It says we need the peach colored paper and the pattern paper that looks... this one. very much stronger colors here, and they're more peachy than in the picture. But again, you know what? I have problems taking pictures, and then when you're trying to get rid of the shadows or whatever, like you end up changing the color. It's just, ugh. Okay, they want you to use the craft cardstock. Now, I'm gonna be cheap and get my own cardstock from my, over there. This is an 8x8 piece of paper. I'm supposed to cut this down 5 3/4, and that just is gonna cover up a lot of this. So I'm gonna keep this cardstock for another time, but the kit does come with the craft cardstock. And then it says to cut a peach piece of paper. Now, if you're looking at these, I'm telling you, it's very pink what they have going on in this, in the picture. Yeah, no, that's it. So, you want to use that one or this? Ooh, yeah, it's going to go with this lighter one. But this one didn't look very good, did it? Okay, so we're going to do that. Oh, and then we need, like, this teal colored paper. Which again, I'm not sure which one they're using, so let's find the teal color in here. It's this little guy. Oh, that's kind of cute because the pattern is like smaller than this one, even though it's the same pattern. That's a nice design detail. And again, we have this guy, which I think is what we need, or this minty one. No, we need this guy. There's some other stuff going on, but we'll get to that when we get to that, I guess. Ink the edges of pattern paper and lay onto, yeah, so we'll do that later. So let me grab the craft cardstock from my own stash, and then we'll start cutting these down. Okay. Let's see here. So this guy, I'm gonna cut this to 5 3/4 inch square. And then this guy, 5 1/2 inch square. I hope I'm following along right. Cute. Okay. It does say to go ahead and just do that, but it's kind of interesting. Ink the edges of a 5 1/4 inch pattern piece of paper and adhere to the card front. Okay. I still have cutting to do, but for whatever reason they say to do these two first, which I can see why, because they want you to ink the next thing. So, let's glue these down. I haven't done inking on the edges of a card in a very long time. I guess for me, I usually make it look like a whole background, right? It's not that I just ink the edges like we used to do back in the day. We loved ourselves a grungy, dirty, dusty looking card. I still like the look. It's nice, but it's funny because before it's like, oh, everything, your flowers, your paper, your layers, your card base itself, everything had to be inked around the edges. Everything. Your chipboard pieces. All of it. Okay, so we have this 5 1/4 inch square. Again, this is why I like to follow along these guys, because I do not ever layer this much. If it has 2 pieces, I'm like, yes, that's awesome. You know, that's a lot of layering already for me. 5 1/4 inch square on this one. That seemed very small, but that's what it is. Okay, and then it says ink this. So I mean, they used kind of like a pinky looking ink. You can see there, very pink, but of course the paper or the image, the color is off. So, let's see. For this inking, you know, you can put this down on a surface and ink the edges. It seems like it's very subtle, so this might still be overkill. I haven't done this in so long, I don't even remember what tools to use. So I found this Panama Rose hybrid ink that I think might work. Yeah, and there's already pink on here from like other projects, so. Because I don't keep up with cleaning my items. You're supposed to spray this with water. I can still do it now. And then clean it out. So this pink is a little bit hotter, but that's okay because my flower is probably going to be like, I don't know actually what color the flower is going to be. I was thinking maybe I should make it like purple, but it seems like since I'm going with this color palette, I got to make it coordinate with that. So it's just a little inking. Not too much. And, oopsie, what do I got here? Oh, I was like, what is that little tiny butterfly that was on my surface here for some reason? So cute. Okay, now adhere that to the front of the card too. And let's make sure our card, I guess it wouldn't matter, to be honest, if you want to open it this way, you know, facing this way or sideways, but yeah, it's a little pink. It's a little dusty. The instructions do call it coral, so, or peach, should I say. So it is a peachy color, but it has a lot of pink tone in the picture. Alright, so there's that one. And then ink the edges of a 3 5/8 inch square piece of pattern paper and lay it onto the mint, 3 7/8 mint. So I'm going to do the same thing basically like I did here. I'm going to cut this down, I'm going to cut this down, I'm going to find like a minty color, hopefully I have one. If not, maybe like a little bluish, and go around the edges of that, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't really have a minty green color in all the colors. I have all of the Crafters Companion colors. I have, you know, dewdrops or whatever from Sukaneko. I have pretty much whatever LDRS has. I mean, I couldn't find one, but maybe I need to look harder, I don't know. But that's alright. So I use a light blue, I think it's called Mineral Blue, from, again, Nuvo. Tonic. Okay, it says do that, and then stamp the sentiment in 2 sections, trim each section to size, and layer them onto peach cardstock. So they are showing that they just stamped have fun on your, and then birthday on white cardstock. I don't believe this kit had white cardstock. Oh my gosh, in the morning, I tell you, there's always some stuff in my throat. So I'm just going to stamp it on just this white cardstock that I have in my stash next to me. Oh, I still need a different stamp set. Let's see. Alright, so birthday, I think everything's on that one. And if you didn't quite get the numbers, I'm sorry, I'm kind of just going over it because again, you know, I'm just trying out whatever's in the box, and if you guys have it, you'll be able to match that up. If you are not sure on the numbers, just get something approximate, like close to that. Let's see here. Birthday, and then have fun on your. And I do kind of want to stamp these straight. Do I really care? I want to stamp them straight so that way when I cut this, I'm not having to fidget with it too much, but maybe that's okay. Hopefully that'll be good enough there. I am going to use VersaFine. Now, I like to use VersaFine with sentiments because it's juicy, it's oily, it's highly pigmented, and I mean, look at that. Look how it just clings to that so well. And I mean, there's other ones. Sometimes the hybrid inks can be a little bit dry. What is what I've noticed. So, I'm going to try to get this as close to the corner and up as high as I can and straight. That way all I have to do is cut this side and the bottom instead of having to cut all around it and then making it more crooked as I go along, basically. Well, that's not too bad. I did miss that top part. Darn it. Darn it. Okay, we'll go over here. We'll do it again. I was going to put this on a stamping platform, like a precision press, but I thought, I don't need that. Clearly I do need that. Where's my, there we go. What happened is I put that sticky, I still have glue on here from the other day, guys, when I made stamps out of foam. And so, I don't really want to touch it. Nice. It's mirror a little bit, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm going to stamp this one too, and I'm just going to cut it with my guillotine as close as I can so it's nicely lined. I just want to show you. I try to leave as much on the card as I can, so like I put this through and I lined it up and then I cut it, so it's pretty good, and then this way. So like if you were to cut this off first, or just try to leave yourself as much paper as you can when you go to cut this, is all I'm trying to say. That way you get the best, you know, thing. So that looks pretty good, right? About even on both sides. And like this one, like I want to cut a little off the top because I don't want this thickness here. So if you were to cut this, and then later all you're going to do is work with this little strip, you know, so make sure to leave as much as you can. And I'm totally eyeballing this. What I like to do, like with this trimmer, is the very edge of this, like what I see sticking up right here, I line that up with my ink, so like here, you know. So I try to eyeball this so that when I put this down, it's basically right on there, right on that line, and that cuts off like a 1/4 inch. See, it's pretty straight. It depends on how you stamp. And then now I can kind of, again, so now I'm off Excuse me, I was going to pause, but I guess I can clear my throat. And again, I can use this guide to help me see how straight I'm cutting. Because if it's like this, obviously I can tell it's way too off. So if I have it more like this, maybe that's good. We will see. Moment of truth. Not too bad. Especially because we're just going to tuck it behind anyway, so we can kind of control how crooked it is. Because we're going to tuck it behind our cardstock there. So that's pretty good. I might take a little bit off this little side over here. And that's it. And then I'm going to cut down the peachy colored paper, which I have here from when I cut it earlier. It's just sitting here. And I would take like the smallest piece, like whatever you can to not waste too much. Yeah, neither one is going to work. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. I'll glue it down, and then I'm just going to eyeball cutting it off. So I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to bring it here, and again, just eyeball it and chop it down. Okay, I'll be honestly on this bottom part, I'm like, oh, it doesn't really matter because it's going to be hidden behind that little minty paper anyway. So I did not pay too much attention to how straight that was. Well, on the second one, obviously you can tell this one's much better. Okay, so let me put this aside because it's glaring over here. This feels super heavy already because the cardstock is super great. You guys know that you have great card bases. It already has 3 layers of stuff on here. We're gonna have this guy, and now it says to attach a cement to the mint square and use 3D foam pads to secure the piece to the card front. So we have fun on your. It's gonna be like here. So again, that's in a way you kind of want to leave yourself a good amount down here so you can stick it on. This is already like unlike any card I've ever made. Which happened that last time I did that hello one with the aperture in the center. Not aperture, but like it was missing in this middle part. I don't know. So have fun on your, and then we have birthday. For some reason this looks a lot bigger than what they did, but you know what it is? It's just that little bit. Let me show you. So they cut it real close to the Y and the beginning of the B, you know? And I left some space for that, so it looks different. That's all. So I'll put some glue here and bring it right down here. Try to make that straight, whatever that means. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to give this a second to dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to put some... let's just do this because it's kind of a big piece and I don't want to mess with a bunch of little guys. Just going to put some foam. I'm going to go to there just to hold that up. Probably should have brought this one all the way across too. Just a little something to help. Okay, and I'm gonna let that set up. Take the carriers off the back and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just took the backs off of that. Again, I'm gonna make sure. Again, if you want your card to open this way, yeah, you can put it that way. Should we? Should we make it like a... Yeah, let's do that. And I'm just going to place this. This all looks totally different than what they're doing. And then they put this like over here. Which again, I kind of have to... So it's not right in the center. It's more this way. And I suppose like there. Or maybe... Oh, you know what? Maybe the green part is in the center. Like if I look at this but don't pay attention to these things, that makes sense. Because that would be about what they're doing. Which was very similar to what I was doing anyway. But then I realized, oh, just center this green piece and don't worry about these things. And then that's pretty much what it looks like here. Okay. Now, it says to use the largest and third largest circle dies to cut a white circle of each size. A white circle of each size? Oh, interesting. Use the largest and third largest circle dies to cut a white circle of each size. Ink the edges of the smaller circle. So they want you to see this big circle. Again, there isn't white paper in this, but there probably is at the beginning of the kit, right? The Year of Craft. So big circle, little circle, and that scallop circle. So I'm going to go dig through the first year of craft because I think that's where those are from, and I will be right back. It's not going to lie. I couldn't find the scallop circle, and I don't think it's in the first set, and I don't really want to dig through the second or third set for it. So I'm still going to use the largest circle like it says, and the third largest for the white paper. And I didn't see white paper in there, but maybe I didn't look hard enough either. Can I fit them both? Oh, good. Okay, so I'm going to get both of those off this white scrap. And then I'm just going to look through my diamond press nesting dies for a circle that will fit for that scallop. I just was looking and I was like, I'm done looking, so I'm sure it's there. I know it's there because we've used it in the past. But I don't know. Hopefully one of these will work. What do you guys think of that one? They do have more room. Could be this one, but that's way too much room. Oh well, I guess I'm going to use this one and just be happy with it. Alright. But again, I can keep digging, and honestly I can probably use some of the diamond press circles just to make sure I have a nicer kind of mat. While I was looking at that first one, I also found these guys, which they used, and these are from the very first set. And I'm sorry, because I'm sure if you're using it, you also want to know where to find that scallop circle, but maybe you guys can leave it in the description box. I just don't remember which set has it, but I know we have a scallop circle. That first set, the one I did come across, was more like a flower edge circle where it's kind of scallop but it's pointy, and that's not what we want right now. We want the one that's legit scallop edge. So that's okay. Or I guess we could use that one. But I'm going to run these through the marquee, that's why I just had to cut it down. So I have room. And so 2 white circles and then this one out of the craft cardstock. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys. You know, I'm already very happy with this card. I mean, we'll see how my coloring comes out, but because it's pushing me further than what I normally do, and I know sometimes I hear that from you guys, like some of my videos will do that for you. I try to keep it very simple. I mean, that's basically why I fell in love with Crafter's Companion a long time ago, because their stuff made sense. Then they started doing some funny, funky things, and I'm like, okay, maybe not. But that's why I always go back to them too. Like, this is really sweet, really cute. It's pretty well written, the instructions, so like you can follow along really well. You know, I'm having a good time. Alright, so it says to ink that up. Again, I think there's probably still ink on here. Yep, from before. Now this ink is more of a fuchsia because that's what's on here, but, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, I think, so it says to do that. This is one part of the instructions that's kind of weird because it says lay the die cut pieces together, so you would think it's all 3 of these, because why not? But I guess they're talking about the ones they just talked about, which is this one, because they had said to cut that, and then they said to ink this, and then they said to layer them, and then it says to adhere them over the large circle with dimensional adhesive. So, which is kind of interesting. Hold on, use large there, blah, 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 ink the edges with smaller, die cut. Then I layer the die cut piece together using 3D foam pads to attach the scallop circle to the large circle. But it doesn't say to stick it to your card base yet. So that's kind of why I was like, ew. I just said the instructions were... obviously you got to stick it to the card base, so I guess that's goes without saying. I don't know. But they want you to stick this on here. And I thought, well, maybe that comes later, but just to snap the flower onto Nina cardstock, which is basically like their smooth color, the ultra smooth cardstock, with alcohol-proof ink, and then follow along with the guidelines on page 29 about how to, you know, color with your markers, fussy cut the image, and using 3D foam pads, secure it to the layered circles. Okay, that's why. Because we're going to do it later, see? I got ahead of myself. So this is going to go on here. And, oh goodness, I guess I'll use these. I don't really like using these guys up, because I use these for like specific projects, you know, the little dots, like the penny slider, or some of these interactive cards I make with like the art impressions things, or diamond press. So I rather use the straight ones for that, but that's okay. Alright, so hold on. Have all of this. And it's so funny because it looks so plain, but it'll be really cute when we're done. So the next thing is, so this is going to go on here, but not quite yet, because we're going to stick the flower on this and then stick it all down, I guess. The other thing I came across in the first kit was ribbon that is more pink, but it is very pink, so I don't like it for this. So we'll see what happens when we get to the ribbon part, because I don't like the ribbon that's in this kit, and I don't like the ribbon that's in the first one for this project. Like, I don't think they coordinate very well. But anyway, okay. I don't want to start losing things here. Put the scallop circle away. Okay, so I have some of my Ultra Smooth Premium White cardstock again. I'll have a link to this. This one I got a long time ago, but right now they have it for 200 pieces on HSN. This is 50, so you can imagine I've used maybe 3 or 4 pieces from this. What 200 pieces looks like. And then we're going to stamp this guy. I'm definitely going to use a stamp positioner just in case. Especially because, like I said, I'm going to use a hybrid ink. Sometimes they're a little bit dry feeling, like I mentioned earlier, so I definitely want to stamp it a couple times. I think they use this one, right? Ooh, we'll see how this goes. I'm not like the 100% best at coloring flowers. I almost prefer to color them with like watercolor because it just looks pretty, and you know. But when you're using alcohol ink markers, it's a little more obvious how you shaded, what you shaded, and all that. So let's put that right up there. And today I'll grab this one because it was there. So I just got the Jane Davenport hybrid ink. Whenever I link things like this from Spellbinders, I just link the whole selection of what Spellbinders has as far as inks, so you can check it all out instead of just one particular color. But hopefully that's okay. I overkill with this one. I'm like, you don't really have to do it that way. Like just a good little doot doot. But hey, look at that. It's always good to use your stamp positioner, even if you think you're going to be okay. Like earlier, I stamped that happy birthday. I didn't think anything of it. And then I'm like, I missed that top part, you know? So it always helps out. I'm going to let this dry. Again, I just read about hybrid inks that they are alcohol proof when they are dry. That's the stipulation there, you guys. So I always let it dry anyway. It was just my hunch, but that's kind of interesting. So I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. I'm gonna pick out my colors and I'll be right back. Okay, so this, again, this paper, it's not pink, it's not really peachy, it's not really coral. I did pick out my coral color blends, or though, blends from the new Diamond Press set. So I wanna see, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna be too picky. I mean, it's a little bit bright. Let me see. So pretty though. I'm not sure why I did the way I did, but yeah. What do you guys think? I feel like I'm just gonna go for it. So if it matches or not, either way, it's a pretty flower. Okay, so like they said, like on her, they went with like fuchsias. So it's not that it matches the peach color in the background or anything, it's just, you know, something they went with. So they say to go dark, medium, then light. So let's see how that goes. So again, light's coming in this way, I suppose. It's actually gonna be on the card like this, if we copy kind of what they're doing, but either way. So what scares me about that is like, that scares me. So I'm gonna do a little bit at a time. Dark, and then medium, and they said to do little strokes to blend that out, and then to bring in the light to then just go from there. And this is not how I normally color blend, so this is new for me, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how it turns out. That is pretty. I feel like it needs to be more like this. Yeah, a little bit more. Okay. So, oh, you know, I just realized I grabbed one more on color. I grabbed Cherry Light, which is interesting because I use that as the darkest one. You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. So, oh well. Let's do it. This is the second time I've messed up my coral blend, and just because I guess I wasn't reading, which is fine. But you know what? It doesn't look bad. So there, and then to the medium color, and then the light color. And I've mentioned this before, but you know, whenever you use alcohol ink markers, you're supposed to blend so much and use so much of it that it really comes through the back, and like that's a good amount. Actually, I was gonna say it's probably staining this, so let me clean this really quick. That's just alcohol. And I'm gonna get my stamping mat or something else to go under here. so I can clean that up. And I'm going to continue doing the same thing. I'll come back for the leaves, okay? As I'm working, I just want to show you, like, now that I'm getting a little bit smaller, I am using the fine side, and I just kind of tuck in here a little bit. And since these are small areas, I can do a little bit more at a time. Just kind of go in there, and then use the medium, and I'm still using the medium brush side, and brushing that out a little bit. And then I'll still take the lightest color and bring it all out. So funny. You know, it's very forgiving. Again, you can make up your own blends, but like that last time when I had swatched the very first time the Diamond Press alcoholic markers for the new mega kit, I put the marmalade in with the coral because that's how they were in the bag and I didn't pay attention. This time I swear I looked at them and I thought, oh no, I really want this one. No, I don't want the marmalade. Okay, I want the coral ones. And I still grabbed the cherry light. I don't know how that even happened. But it looks pretty, so I'm good with it. Alright, I'm gonna keep working. I'll be back. Okay, and of course this time I put this underneath and it barely even touched it. But it's because, I don't know. Oh well. Let's make sure we have grass, grass, grass. Okay, grass to light, medium, and dark. So again, they go dark to light, and I'm gonna keep doing that, but that's not my thing. And, you know. They also did... So, the other thing I want to show you is I colored the whole thing, because that's kind of what I do, but they left some areas white, and then when you come through, it gives it more of a shine. Now, I could take my blender pen and take some of the color away and get the same effect, but you see how they totally left it white, or in here? So, you know, that's just another thing you can do, but suppose they did that because they came in with the lightest color and then blended over, so for me, the lightest color did get that dark, so... I don't know. They might be using a very, very, or like the pastel ones where they're kind of in the mid color. So again, I don't know that dark to light's my favorite. I'm going to follow this thing here. I'm going to go dark here and maybe in here. Dark and then medium. Oh, not that one. I want the brush. Medium. A little more here. And then the light. And again, I'm not leaving anything white. I'm just going over the whole thing again. And making sure my colors are pretty well blended. And that's it. So I'll do the same for all of them. This is very pretty. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is probably still a little bit wet. So what happens with alcoholic markers, as you let it sit, the color just kind of intensifies as the alcohol dissipates. But on these little guys, I just went from the darkest to the lightest because they're so small. So I just went dark, light, and that's it. This is a really nice image because I'm not the best at color blending, like by far, but I think it was very easy to color in, so that's always good. Now I'm going to cut away. You heard me right when I said fussy cut. I said fussy cut this, and then we're almost done. So I am... thinking about that. Let me turn it like, I tell you, whenever I do stuff like that, I feel like a dog chasing his tail around and around until, I don't know. No, they went for it. They went for like every little nook and cranny kind of fussy cut. I guess that's what I'm going to do too. I don't want to, but I think it looks nicer than if it was just like round. So I might have to do some cleaning up at the end because I can't really get into those areas too well right now. Like I'll come back in and clean it up, like make it a little sharper, you know, like in here. But for now, I'm just gonna go around as well I can. Oh, was I not in frame? So again, apply pressure with your dominant hand, the one that has the scissors, and move your paper with your non-dominant hand, and you'll get a much nicer cut. Like even that, I can just take that away and start over again. Okay, that's how I do it. So this is gonna take a minute. I'll be back. Okay, there's all these little bits. So whenever I get to this part where it's like I just want to cut it off, I just cut off that extra. And when I just came around right now, where was I? Right here. Oh, I wanted this to be a little sharper. Sorry, I just started and Miranda came to ask me about something. Okay. So, I just was sitting here reading while Miranda had asked me a question, and you know why the ribbon doesn't match? Because it tells you at the end here, and see, maybe that's why I should read through the instructions. This is why, color white ribbon with MG05, the color that they used up here. And then they do tell you what marker colors they used for this, so if you wanted to copy it exactly, you can do that if you have those colors, of course. Attach the bow to the card front and embellish with designs and with the dewdrop to finish. So I'm supposed to put this on here with 3D, with foam pad stuff too. Did the original kit come with foam pads? I don't think it did it? Look how much color. That's how you're supposed to saturate it. So much that it goes through and it almost looks the same on the front. No, it doesn't, but very close. But anyhow, so let's get these guys. I'll put this one. And I don't think it matters right now how we put it on this circle. But then when we lay it onto the card. This has a lot of dimension, you guys. There's dimensional, dimensional, dimensional. And then I think we're just gluing this down, right? It didn't say anything funky, you know. Well, I'm just going to glue it down either way. That's pretty. Again, very different from what I normally do. I don't know that I'm going to put a ribbon that matches. You know, the other day I had shown you that about coloring ribbon. Which we've done in the past. I'm just trying to make sure this is right in the center. Yeah, something like this. I guess theirs is more like this. Again, it doesn't matter. Do what you like. Right there. So I'm supposed to put a little ribbon here. I guess I don't know that I want to do that. Let me put these little clear guys, and maybe I'll do like a clear, or like a white, like organza ribbon, which is one of my favorite things. It should still be sitting here from the other day, but yep, of course it is. Of course it is. You know what I'm saying? To make it more sheer and just have some texture without, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So, again, real quick, we'll do our little trick. So, you see my ribbon starting over these two fingers. I'm going to go around to make a loop around that finger, loop middle finger, and they just did one layer, but let's see what it looks like with two. So, around here. And then we're going to cut this off, give ourselves a little bit of a length. You're going to finish your loop, pass over everything, right? Ah! Come on, little buddy. All right, look at that. That's why you're supposed to leave yourself a good tail, but you know, I like to not waste my ribbon, so there. So over everything, around your fingers, Vianney, leave yourself a bigger tail. And then you're going to go through this. You just created a loop right here. I know it's probably harder to see because of this, but we're going to tuck this into there and pull it out. And this is the only one that you can really adjust for, like, trying to pull it tight. Because if you pull this one, it's going to unloop here. So that's basically where it started. So I'm going to loosen that just a little bit. Get this off my fingers. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. And look at this. Oh, I love that trick. Now, I'm just going to cut these, but if you wanted to take a lighter to that real quick and just seal the edge, I think that'd be the best thing to do. But there we have a cute little bow. Look at that. Oh, I love it. That's definitely what I'm going with that. This is from the Dollar Tree, you guys. Somebody had said that there's not a lot on here. I mean, 6 yards is a good amount for $1. I'm happy with it. Like, that's fine. I think that's kind of typical of ribbons. Do they usually sell more than like 6-10 yards? That's a lot of ribbon. Because that's basically like, what, 18 feet? And I think in the Crafts Companion kits, they usually give you like a foot or a foot and a half of each little piece of ribbon. So you can make like one bow. So with that, I mean, from the Dollar Tree, you can make tons of bows. I'm just trying to see, did I put this square? I feel like it's a little bit crooked. Oh well, alright. So, then we have our little guys. It looks like they only use like these smaller ones. So let's just, and be playful with it, even though I'm just looking at what they're doing and copying that. These little little buttony things are so cute. And you can put them on your flowers even to make it look like dew, right? Like we used to do back in the day also. And they put another one. They're going to town with these guys. This is definitely going to go out for a birthday this year. I have in mind someone to send it to. And they're just putting these randomly. A lot of them. A very much lot of them. And like here. And over here. So whoever designed this, and I'm wanting to say Craig, doesn't seem very Craigish. It's very, all the layers and then the fussy cutting, of course. Okay, the last thing is I want to hold that down. I'm gonna have to hold it down. Oh, yeah. I want to see, I want it inwards, I think, because it looks like it fits better that way, right? So I would normally use like a hot glue, but I'm just gonna have to hold this down for a while. So you can see it's already popping up, but pretty. All right, guys, you know, I mean, the instructions, like I said, were easy to follow. Definitely read your instructions all the way through before we start. I usually do that, like with my Anagriffin ones especially, because I'm like, okay, what traps are we going to fall into possibly? This time I was like, I'll just follow along step by step, and that's why I was mentioning that the ribbon didn't match so many times. I'm so sorry. It's because I didn't read that they colored their own ribbon. Now, I could have colored this ribbon. That would look really pretty, too, if I had taken, like, even the cherry color, but I would say probably the medium, the coral medium. Color it with your alcoholic marker, and it would have had a little tint that looks so nice in this kind of ribbon, the organza ribbon. I love that. All right, guys. Well, have a great day. I think this is going to be the video I have for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. You know, it doesn't have to look exactly like the picture. I'm going to have to keep holding that down, obviously. But I think we did pretty well. A whole different color of flower and everything, but it looks really nice either way, I think. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.